law of attraction. Why the law of attraction is not something magical. It's not something magical, and I think so because there's logic behind it. If you really think it through logically, then you won't have to believe in those spiritual and magical things, which doesn't make sense, which cannot be proven, and you're you're a seeker of truth. This won't be the right explanation for you, and that's why you need to think this through logically. Why the book, you might have read it somewhere, the law of attraction or something like that by, I don't know, I read the book. I read the book because I read the book. I think, yeah, I read it to just figure out what this thing is, and I just read books casually sometimes. So this was one of them I read because I cannot be arguing against something that I didn't even review. So yeah, I read the book thoroughly and even tried implementing it, believing in it at some point that oh yeah, it might work, and it works. It works, no doubt, it works. It does work, but there's not something magical to it. That's what I figured out. It's not something new. It might be, it might not be. If you don't know, but if you can think this logically, it does not have to be surprised by it. So over here we're talking about the phenomenon where like we start noticing the things that we keep thinking about. What we constantly hold in mind is what we become. Those thoughts by philosophers and even Bhagavad Gita I read. You become what you think. Somewhere in chapter 16, 17. Yeah. I have read so many places, and the quote, the like teenager type quote, fake it until you make it, and all this stuff. No, it's not teenager, but you have read it. You have read it, and they all kind of link to this one thing: you become what you think. And if you consider the gold experiment, that's where everything connected, and gold experiment. It's like a human psychological experiment, I think, where you must have seen a video where bunch of people were passing a ball around, and you were asked to count the number of times they passed the ball around, and you were so focused on it that a gorilla walked in the group, danced around for a while, and went past, and you wouldn't even notice that. That's the thing I'm talking about. That actually proved it, and it tricks everyone. That's what. If on the other hand you were asked to notice unusual or a gorilla in the video, you would have noticed it because you were looking for it. You were looking for that thing in your mind. You were thinking about it. You had that thought in your mind. You were holding it in. That's why you noticed it. So I think this principle is no different. It works the same way. I think it works, and it works the same way as like you constantly think of something you want, like you want to become something and you want something. You constantly think about it, and the thinking process. Sometimes you start noticing things around you. You start noticing the opportunities. You start noticing what's going on. You start getting ideas because you think more. You get more ideas, and at some point, it starts building together, and it feels like at one point you might have just reached your goal, not knowing you're constantly thinking about it. So that works. I think that's the logical reason to that. And I'm not saying anything bad about the book. No, I think there's a documentary too, but I'm not saying anything about it. It's good. It's great. And it's not great, but like I see why it might adhere to some kind of people. It reached a greater audience because of the way it is written. Something magical, something out of this world, something new, something secret, something people don't know, like this clickbaity thing in the books as well. So this is where it is written, and this might be the reason it has reached a greater audience, and that's good for them. That's good. I don't care. So yeah, it is written in such a way that it adheres to and even the stories they said in the book were like cancer patients and all. I get it. The ones who have lost hope in life or something like that.
Let your playlist shine.
Well, this
With
Spotify
Spotify
ad
Premium, listen to your music without hearing
telling you
ad breaks and
so
keep moving to
doesn't
non-stop
matter.
jams. Get 3 free
Yeah,
months
so
right now and
there's no,
cancel
I
anytime.
don't know what spiritual
Tap the banner
aspect
to
is.
learn
All
more.
this, I don't, this kind of terms, spiritual, this cliche terms, they don't get into my mind. In this English terms, man. Yeah. But if you think about it, yeah, there's nothing magical, as I said before. It's common, think through this logically. This is assumptions, and I cannot just believe anything said by people. I have to do my own research. Why would you believe anything said by anybody? Like what? Why would you believe that? Why would you believe that if you don't think of it yourself, you just believe it? Nah, that's stupid. You're doing math and you don't go prove every single math equation. You don't you you walk on the shoulders of the giant and all that. Yeah, but you don't reinvent the wheel. That's the word I'm looking for. You don't reinvent the wheel. I know, but that's why we make assumptions. We assume that certain things are true so that we can make progress in our life, we can make progress in our thoughts, we can make progress, because without assuming that something is true, you would always be questioning reality, you would always be questioning the truth, and you would reach nowhere. In turn, you would reach nowhere. So yeah, that's it. Subscribe to learn the truth of the news and explore